everyone. This is Baylan Megino with Global Dream Makers. Here today with some very special guests from the World Women's Award Conference and Awards, World Women Conference and Awards. They are here to speak to us about their new awards called the Vision Awards, and we'll find out what Vision stands for in a little bit. I would like to greet, I have three guests. There is Dr. Florence Nisabwe.
Hello, good morning, good evening.
And where are you coming in from, Dr. Florence?
I'm coming from Burundi, but currently I'm based in South Africa.
Good evening. Good evening from South Africa.
And Ntsiki Ncoco from South Africa. Yes, welcome. Okay. And then we also have from San Diego, Cristal Balk.
Hello, everybody. How's everybody doing?
I think, to tell you the truth, I'm a little bit tired today. There is so much happening for International Women's Month. And International Women's Day was an incredible day all around the world. I'm sure all of you celebrating around the world were very active in your communities. I would love to find out from each of you what you're doing in your communities. What is your work? What are your advocacies? You know, what is the need that you see that you are addressing right now? Why don't we start with Dr. Florence?
Great, thank you so much. First of all, thank you for this great opportunity to be here today. So yes, as you said it already, I'm Dr. Florence Nisabwe. I'm from Burundi, but currently I'm based in South Africa. I'm a social entrepreneur. I'm the founder and executive director of a nonprofit organization, Foundation Lab, focusing on women and the young girls' empowerment through social entrepreneurship and leadership. So at the heart of my work, or at the heart of our foundation work, is our passion for empowering women through social entrepreneurship and leadership to embrace their talent and have the confidence to dream bigger, to work harder and smarter, and achieve outstanding success. And in doing so, we are really making global impact.
That's a wonderful. About how many women do you think are involved in the extended community of your people?
Okay, great. The foundation has been registered since March 2019. And I can mention that since then, we have been able to work with more than 300 women in both rural area and urban area through different conferences, workshop trainings, and some awareness campaign that we are organizing every month. But we are having an international conference every year. Last year we had it in March. This year we will have it in July with a summit, a social entrepreneurship summit in September. And that summit will gather women from Africa and Black African American women to create a platform of exchange of experience and see how we can put our hands together to empower underprivileged women in Africa and minorities in America.
Oh, that's a beautiful collaboration. It's a cross-cultural, binational Are you working mostly in Burundi or in surrounding countries?
Okay, our main activities are held in Burundi, but we have also women who are crossing the border, who are involved in the informal cross-border trade, both from DRC, for instance, and Burundi that we are assisting. For instance, last year during this pandemic, we have been able to assist more than 58 women who are involved in the informal cross-border trade. Due to the closure of the borders, they could not continue to run their businesses. So what we did, we managed to give them a small capital, an amount of 400 US dollar each one, to be able to allow them to run their businesses locally and wait for the situation to come to the normal.
Hmm. Oh, that's wonderful. That's wonderful because here at Leaders Edge, we like to especially help not just entrepreneurs but leaders whose decisions affect groups of other people, and that's what you're doing. So thank you so much for that work that you're doing there in Burundi and surrounding areas. How about Ntsiki? Ntsiki, can you tell us about your work?
Thank you so much, Baylan, and thank you for having me on the show. About our work in South Africa, we are focusing on leadership training and development. And it is purely for women in board directorship positions. So right now, we started a program last year. We started in September during the COVID pandemic time. So we thought it is not going to hold us back on the plan, though it was a difficult time for women to start engaging at that time. So we have an intake of about 25 women who have been being trained for board directorship positions. These are professional women. They know what they do and what they have been doing, but they were not having a certification on the project. So what we did now was to put them on a program. It's going to take a full year. Those who have been on board positions, they can take 6 months, but all of the women who came on board have opted for the 1-year program. It is in collaboration with another global women organization. It is a global chair women organization. And it is also under a mandate from the UN to empower women for board positions. As you know, all know that women have been marginalized in high positions where they have a very, big way and power to impact the decision-making positions. Women have power, women have authority, women are able and capable of leading organizations. So we decided that we are going to take up this position and train women for boards. And it is really a task that we are taking with a global company that has been doing this training online from Netherlands. And it's so within the organization that we have formed together, there are 4 companies, and it's all companies that are led by women, women-owned, and then it's only the company that is training us that is from Netherlands, that is not part of South African brands. So what we are doing is to empower and uplift women of integrity, women who are able to lead organizations in high positions. And when there are board positions that are open, then we know that there are women who have been thoroughly trained step by step and who are certified, qualified to lead the companies. We know everything rises and falls on leadership. Of course, that's a famous quotation from Dr. John Maxwell, and it is honestly proven. Leadership is important. So we train women of integrity. And the other important one that we are doing right now, I am also a board member of Anointed Media. Anointed Media has companies under it, SA Positive News. We are tired of hearing bad news. So there is a lady who is a journalist, who is a global journalist from South Africa, awarded in many, sessions and years as a journalist. So she started this because of the negativity that South Africa is beautiful. South Africa is rich and it has got people of integrity. So what the world must see about South Africa is also the positive news. Every day we want to wake up and see what is good out there, and not only you wake up, when you wake up and drive along the road, the posters are all negative, 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 because they say negative news sell. So she started that and she's training other young journalists. And now what we are doing, we have also SA Heroes Awards. So we are preparing for the ceremony. It will be in September this year, as the heritage of women and other businessmen who are leading with that integrity. So we are looking for South African heroes who can take up the lead. Thank you.
Oh, how beautiful. How beautiful. And I remember when I was on a board for the first time, it's a totally different way of looking at the world and communicating and getting things done, really making decisions as a committee and at a higher level. It's when you know how to do it, you can get a lot done effectively in a short amount of time. So thank you for doing that training. That's wonderful.
Thank you. Thank you, Baylan. Thank you.
Cristal Balk, how are you? And will tell us what you're doing in San Diego.
Thank you, Baylan, for having me here today, and thank you for whoever is watching and listening to these powerful women like Ntsiki, Dr. Florence, and Inga herself is doing amazing projects. So I'm very blessed to be around and surrounded by all you powerful ladies. And yeah, absolutely, for our company, it has shifted tremendously from different areas. We used to be very local based here in San Diego, strong, with the branding aspects, the operations and so forth. And, a lot of opportunities came to our company, and we became more, when this whole COVID situation hit, we became more media orientated, more kind of like a support for the businesses here locally, in the sense of like San Diego, California hit really, really hard with our economy, just because up to this date, we're still pretty closed. So it has been over a year since we were really fully closed, and a lot of business, unfortunately, they've really hurt. So more than anything, our company has been there for support for the small businesses, but it has transitioned into an amazing area for me, because a lot of my new clientele are women. And let me tell you that I love women. I seriously love women. And part of that is because we have similar values, morals. We really want to help, right? We want to reach the same goal. There's absolutely no agendas, nothing else that's going to stop anything. And most importantly, for me personally, from my passion, being able to support those women with passions like Dr. Florence and Ntsiki, just being here as far as the technical side, mission, vision, being able to put all that together is what our company loves to do and what I enjoy to do myself. And most importantly is there is a mission and a vision, but how are we going to get there? And so being able to have the logistics and the technical side aspect is our strength, is what we do. And most importantly, you know, like Ntsiki said, lead with integrity is very important. You have no idea in the past year or so, the type of different people that have shifted their mindset. Maybe before they weren't leading with integrity, but after this whole situation, it had opened a lot of mind, and a lot of, you know, people have shifted directions into not only in their businesses, but as leaders, right? And part of it is, where did we learn to lead, right? I had the great opportunity to learn it in various ways. However, is it the right leadership for me? So one of the things that, and I actually had mentioned it before this week, which is an interesting for me, it's kind of like, it's a sign. But one of the things is servant leadership for me is huge, right? How we're going to serve our community, how we're going to move forward, and how we're going to help one another, not only on our businesses, but we're human beings. Like, how can I help you in your personal life? Is there anything, maybe can I connect you with somebody? Is there something that I can assist you with? As women, we carry a lot of stuff, and being able to support each other and be there for one another is just instrumental to everybody's success, not only sitting here in this you know, Zoom call, but also all over the world. Like, as women, how can I also support you besides your business? You know, Ntsiki is doing a fantastic job with teaching the ladies in leadership and so forth. And Dr. Florence does an amazing job, but how can we support you both, right? Like, I know you're carrying a lot. So being able to, as a leader, in my opinion, and from what I've seen, it's not about always about ourselves. It's how can we serve others and how can we help them, right? If we all have the skills and the ability, why not utilize them for good? And so in our company, that's kind of, we lead by servants, you know, service. Our marketing team, and I've been told by a lot of other marketing leaders themselves, said you are not your traditional marketing person. And I feel proud. I feel very proud by that, Baylan, and you know that. And the reason why is because the moment that we start getting about ourselves is the moment that we lose, right? And so being able to have, as a leader, it's a lot of sacrifice, it's a lot of understanding, comprehension, but also service. Thank you.
Yes, yes. And I know that because I do work with you sometimes with the World Women Conference, I know that you have gathered a nice grouping of young women leaders, and you're helping to develop their leadership capabilities and mindset, which, you know, here at the Leader's Edge, we're really interested in making sure that the mindset is really strong and clear. And so that's why vision is so important, because that's where it all begins, right? It begins with your values. It begins with your values and how you want to show up in the world with those values in your relationships. And then how does your vision shape those relationships? And I know that's what's so wonderful about the WWCA, that it's a community. It's a community of women leaders who are there serving and are not afraid to address really difficult issues, many issues that others will not even touch with a 10-foot pole, because it's just so difficult, just very difficult to talk about. Why don't we start back with you, Cristal? Why do you think, what do you see as the challenges in your community that need to be addressed, and why it's important to have an organization like WWCA and the Vision Awards? Why do you think that's so important?
Yes, absolutely. I see a lot of challenges in my community because, and part of it is the community aspect is being missed, right? I think people are just so into their lives and just trying to get themselves running, you know, being able to support their families and so forth. So what's happening is that they don't know how to take help, right? What's happening here, or at least from what I'm seeing, is COVID helped a little as far as being able to support one another, with grants, money for the businesses and so forth. But that for some people is some people are prideful by saying I didn't, earn that by myself and so forth. So there's a lot of me, at least in my community, in the sense of, even with COVID hit, organizations were not even helping one another. They were just like, we're on our own, we're doing what we can. And part of the beauty about WWCA is that it doesn't matter where you are from around the world. We will be here and we will support you. And at the end, we're like a sisterhood bond, whatever we can. And we're going to utilize the skills of, okay, I'm in marketing, and let's say Inga needed some help with marketing. Okay, let's get together and see how I can assist and help you. Or Inga needs, she's in the beauty industry, Inga, I need some assistance with my beauty. It just, we all have our stuff. And being able to get one-on-one calls and being able to build their relationship further than just locally, which is the beauty about the whole global organization, is that this is not just, yes, we are helping our communities, but at the same time, we're helping our communities locally and globally, right? In the sense is that those that have more needs than those that are there to support, we help the ones with the most needs, right? And vice versa. And so being able to, it's funny because somebody asked me, it's like, I've never heard about a women organization to help and support each other. It's all about ego and title. And you know what? It made me so sad, because at the end of the day, that's how they viewed women organization, but not WWCA. So we're here to change a culture and a mentality in not only women organization, but the way we are running businesses, the way we're going to be teaching our students and our kids, the way we're going to be changing generations. I mean, we're not just here to be here and play. We're here to change lives and make a difference at the end of the day.
I have one daughter. I wish she lived in San Diego. This is wonderful. It's wonderful to hear, because I've been married twice, and this is why I left those marriages, because I wanted to make sure that the role model that I was giving to my daughter about what is a good relationship, what is a good livelihood, what is a good way to live, that she saw the right thing, because she was not seeing the right thing during those relationships, And so to be able to teach, for a mother to be able to teach her daughter those things and give her that exposure, it only goes so far. It goes deep, but it only goes so far, because once she's out in the world, then, all kinds of things happen. So, to be able to know, well, where are the communities where it would be supportive for her to continue in that growth? I'll let her know about San Diego. Thank
Absolutely.
you for the. And how about you, Dr. Florence? Oh, did we lose her?
Oh no, she's just on mute.
Oh, Dr. Florence, you're muted.
Yeah, what was your question, please?
What do you see are the challenges in your community that make it so important for an organization like WWCA and for the Vision Awards to exist?
Oh, great. Let me start by saying that stepping into a leadership, management, or entrepreneurship on any venture, it's all about discovering your purpose and your calling. So when it comes to dealing with community, then you have noticed some challenges that you need to address. And talking from my experience, I would say that tradition is heavy, and it is one of the biggest obstacles we have in in our communities. So I would put it into 3 categories. So at the grass level, you will find that women are suffering, trying to survive, and also having to deal with the culture, sometimes the religion, the tradition, and this deprive them to really to be empowered, or to realize that as women they can be more and they can be better, or they can achieve more. And at the middle level, you will find that yes, women are skilled, they are somehow empowered, but also they are bound by the same obstacles, like at the grass level, the tradition, the culture, and this also can drive them to a lack of confidence. Even if they have opportunities, they don't really realize that they can jump on it because they are not sure about what they can do. And at the high level stage, you also find that even if some women are well positioned when they are at the top of companies, enterprises, they fear, they have that lack of self-esteem, that lack of confidence, due to the perception of the main counterpart in the same industry, where they feel like because they are women, they can do better. And in this case, it is very difficult for them to pull up their little sisters. So, you know, at every level of our society, there are some challenges that we need really to address. So, yeah, talking from my experience, I traveled a lot. I have discovered a lot. And from what I learned from my experience, I found that there is really a need to bring back my knowledge, my skills, my experience, to share with my people, and show or be like an example to what women can achieve. Uh, by also respecting our culture, our tradition, not by being really bound by what I can say, I can call the old mentality. So I think that that is one of the most challenges we are facing. So the other side also, we in what I'm doing, there is also that kind of impatient where you will find that some need really quick wins. So when the result is not immediate, when you see that there is a sort of discouragement and somehow negative perception or negative comment towards the work we are doing, what I judge really unfair because, you know, you cannot always explain the struggle, your also challenges in your work, in what you are doing, because not many will understand. Because, you know, when it comes to vision, calling, or purpose, everyone is unique. and you bring what you feel is needed on the ground, while those you are serving were not ready for it, and you need to put effort, your energy, your time to explain and to get them to really understand the good, the benefit of what you are doing.
Yes, yeah, and that kind of work when there's such a disparity between I see that as energetics, the energy that you are dealing with, the vibration that you are holding as a leader, and the vibration that of the people that you're trying to help uplift. That is a very big challenge, and especially if culturally and societally, perhaps it's not as well supported. It's even more important for you to find the other women who are like-minded so that you can band together and hold each other up. Yes. Thank you for doing that work. Yes. Mm. Mm. Yes. Um, and Ntsiki, Ntsiki, how do you see the challenges or the wins of leadership in your area, and how World Women Conference can be an empowering force there, or the Vision Awards can be helpful?
All right. Let me start with this one, Baylan, from the leadership
Hold on
perspective.
just a moment.
All
Can
right.
some
My
there's
sound.
some
It just started raining. I hope the sound is good. How is it? Yeah. It just started raining. So I
oh
have to have
okay.
two devices. I speak from the phone, but the face is on the laptop. So technology, I'm tricking it as it wants to trick me too. All right.
Okay.
So all right. So I'm going to start from the level of the leadership.
Okay.
You know, the challenges that are still there in the marketplace is the syndrome that we call it here a queen bee. There are women who are in leadership positions who have been there and being the only one. Remember, in one position, there's only one CEO in an organization. So, or maybe say, let's only one chairperson in the board. So there are those who have been privileged longer before we were raised into these positions. And because of their power, they still want to hold on to that, and difficult for them to sponsor other women and lift them up as well, and also open doors and opportunities for them. This is what I've noticed, and I put it in this way. Some really open doors for you and sponsor. Some really play as if they are opening doors for you, but keep you in the low under their arm. You see
Yeah.
how they do this? Have you seen a door that has a two door? Not the one that you open the whole door. On the top, it's as if they've opened the door for you and say, there's my hand, come, I'll hold you, I'll lift you up. But with the bottom part of the door, they're putting their foot down. Like, you know what? We belong here, we rule here, and we have the power in this space. Therefore, don't play around our territory. They are territorial. They have the power and they hold those positions, and they are known. They play with the big boys out there, and they're well known. So when there are opportunities, it's them who will be picked to come and take part in those big deals. That syndrome is still there. So here it's called as a queen bee syndrome. And also the other category, but I must say there are those that are really opening doors for others, that are supporting, that are coaching, that are empowering and mentoring others and opening doors for us. So what I really see with World Women Conference and Awards, it's like really women are like this here. They mean what they say. When they say we'll open doors for you, they mean that. When they say we'll support you, they mean it. And I mean, with Cristal, the servanthood that she gives to World Women Conference and Awards, it's amazing for me. A marketing person who is, you know, when she uses even the term servanthood, I've seen her as using the, you know, the model of 360 degrees on leadership. She is a servant that is serving World Women Conference and Awards, but she's a leader in her own right. But here, she's a servant, and she lifts all of us up. I send her messages anytime, and we're on different time zones, but she will respond, she will help me, she will support me, and all that it is being said that we will give you in this platform. I get it. I don't know how many podcasts I've been invited to speak on in this forum, and really building my branding, my organization, Power to Lead with Integrity, is really global and trending. I've been a premier in one of the platform, you know, that I was introduced by this platform to, you know, Yvonne Gamble. And I did the first interview with one of her programs. And I was so surprised. It's already on YouTube, and I was like, wow. So what you say, what Ragne Sinikas says on this platform, as she is the president, but she's serving all of us with all her heart, all the women who are having their podcast, you know, platforms, you are all inviting us. Baylan, we are with you now on this global California platform. And it's when you say I'm opening a door, it is true, and it is from your heart. So I've seen the sisterhood that is happening around, and it is all what we need globally. The other challenge that we have now, even during this time of pandemic, that has even, you know, taken its toll on South African women, is the gender-based violence. It is, you know, even the president spoke about it all the time when it comes to address us during the pandemic. We are in a period of uncertainty. That's a challenge we're all going through. I'm in change management space. That's one of my biggest modules that I've executed in most corporate, you know, companies here. But what I'm saying now, I've created a module that is beyond that. Change is what you are being told about, and you know. But this uncertainty is so evil over everybody that we don't know how to handle it. You don't know what is going to be said the next day by the president. You don't know what is going to happen to your business the next day. So now, how the challenge is, you know, I want to focus on is personally, that how do we handle ourselves as we lead others? How do we remain composed and calm as we are going through our own challenges in our businesses? As we are going through this, remember, the youth is going through double what we are going through. We invite each other to the platform. We are able to come on Zoom and to come to the podcast. Our children, our youth, our young entrepreneurs don't even have the data to come on board and even listen to us and say, come, let us help you, let us talk to you, let us help you with techniques of, you know, maybe health techniques, how to handle trauma, how to handle when you're being traumatized. They are not able to come on board. So my biggest challenge right now that I'm focusing on is to make it a way for them to at least have a data. When we say we want to coach you, we are able to say, here's the platform, you are able to come on board and be with us, and then we can take it from there. But for now, it is serious challenge. And remember, we are not leaving behind our young men, so that they can treat our young girls better than this. We are lifting the young girls up so much that when we saw the gap, now we are over exaggerating this. Let's lift both of them, balance it as we look at the diversity and inclusion of all. Thank you, Baylan.
I think that's wonderful that you are now bringing the balance, right? We knew that the young women needed to be uplifted because they did not see what is possible. And now that they've stepped into that more fully, and there will be more and more young women, thank goodness, the men and the young boys that we have left behind need to be brought up also so that there is equality, so that they are standing shoulder to shoulder, not one in front of the other. Thank you for doing that work. It's so important, so incredibly important. So with World Women's Conference, WWCA, I know that now the organization has decided, that was the rain? Wow. Um, let's see. Could you mute? Is it possible to mute right now?
Hi, Baylan.
Yeah.
Are you still with me? It's raining so hard here. It was difficult to hear you.
Yes, I can hear the rain, and I was wondering, is it
Yeah.
possible to mute? Could you mute
Oh,
while?
okay. Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
It sounds wonderful, actually. It's one of those natural sounds. So what I wanted to do now is I wanted to pivot. I wanted to look at, well, with World Women Conference, it's been around for several years, and Ragne Sinikas has done a wonderful job of gathering such powerful women from around the world. Now, everyone is coming together to celebrate vision. And could who would like to let us know what does vision mean for you? What does it stand for, but what does it really mean for you and your community? And why is it important that these awards take place? And I'll let whoever wants to go first.
I guess I'll go first.
Thank you.
Yeah. So vision was something that was created by a lot of leaders in WWCA that was put together. I don't have the wording in front of me, but in my opinion, from what it means is basically each woman have a vision of something that they want to change, of something that they want to create, right? And either leave behind or something of movement, right? Of leaving behind. It's not just about our businesses, it's more about being able to move not only our community, move the people that surround us, and move those that are thinking of one perspective, but realizing, hey, there's a different perspective as well, right? So the way I see it is the vision is basically something that you have created and have created for good and have made a change in that person's life or that community or those children, whatever it may be, or those men, and being able to be successful in that specific area in order for you and those that surround you can have better opportunities, being able to fill in the gaps in the area, that are missing, those are kind of like the perspective of the vision, is being able to support more than just your business. It's more than that. It's being able to make a difference in a positive manner that people are generally affected that in a good way.
Thank you, Crystal. And so for your community, what is the importance of the Vision Awards themselves?
For our community, it's just bringing women together. there's a disconnect here, and the whole women thing is somewhat new, but it's coming along. Being able to work together, being able to provide each other opportunities, being able to connect, you know, either on a business, personal, community level, something that you can, you know, both or, you know, can agree on. It's more of a connection, at least for my community, being able to know that you're here and you have support. I think that's a huge one for us here, is being able to, that even though we do live in San Diego, California, at the end of the day, there's a lot of disconnect and there's a lot of biases and in their own ways. And so being able to fill in those gaps and those disconnects in our community is very, very important.
Yes, yes, they need something to aspire to. Yes, and to know that they're not alone. They're not alone. So, Dr. Florence, what do you have to say about the awards?
Thank you so much. So from my opinion, I think it is more discovering, it is more about self-discovery and being able to dig into our inner power, and then being able to celebrate our superpower. Therefore, trying to help others, because you cannot, in my language, they say you cannot give what you don't have. So it's all about us celebrating what our, they say, our superpower, and just chatting with ourselves about what we can achieve, and being able to prove to ourselves that we can. And yeah, for the community, I think that it's a sort of encouragement, because when you can achieve for yourself, then you will be able to achieve for others. So it's in nutshell, a kinds of encouragement and motivation to our community.
Yes, yes. Ah, yes, and Ntsiki?
All right. Baylan, for me, it is the self-love. And it starts from within, to know that we do have the power and the strength. For us, we came together as women. That's why we noticed each other and pick each other, and we were invited because already we have the skills, we have the knowledge, we have the power, we have been leading, but now we have a platform where all of us can showcase those skills. So the showcasing of this self-love is what I normally do. If I get paid, the person who's going to eat first from that salary is me. I take myself out alone, because I'm the one who has worked. I'm the one who still need the strength to carry others. So for me to carry others with all that smile and strength, I go out and feed myself first and thank myself, and, you know, raise a bar that, wow, girl, you did well. So this is what I see with the awards as well. You know, even at the varsity, I'll just collect, you know, students say, after exams, let's go and thank ourselves that we even wrote the exams. If we passed or we did not pass, it's another story. But for now, we wrote the exams and we did that. So for this now, whatever, we have been nominated. So we have to celebrate. And we're celebrating ourselves because we honestly did well. There are times we really have to acknowledge that we have the power and we have done things so well. And for our communities, this is a platform where we are opening doors for others. In my community, there are so many women who are powerful, who have even the ideas, the businesses, but have no power of resources. So for us, we have been put in the forefront of opening doors for others who have struggled like us, but now we are in the forum where at least the doors have been opened for us. So it is in us to have a good heart to open doors for others and say, the cake is very big. Let us all, as we're saying this within World Women Conference and Awards, that we empower through education. That education is in all spheres of our lives. So to empower with the culture, first of all, even with us globally, I'm looking forward to a session where we are going to share our cultures, share our gestures, learn from each other, know what this means to us and what it means to you. Tell me about how you grew up, how you do things as a girl, how you were empowered. Or with us, it was not even easy to speak to our parents about our own situations, nor even to choose what you wanted to do. I think with other people, it was easy. For me now, it is easy. I've let my daughter choose what she wanted to do in life. So we have to be open. We even have to come out of that mindset as parents that children have their own rights as long as they are right rights. They are wrong rights, but as long as it's right rights, we'll be there to support them. So I'm looking forward to learn and do exchange programs within us as well. Thank you, Baylan.
Oh, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. Um, I want, I actually wanted to ask. I didn't mention this to any of you. I'd like to ask you, um, for you, what would constitute or what would show you that this has been successful? What do you want to see come out of having held the awards? Right? So what would you see as a success? Because you want it to be something that will help your community, that will be a guiding light or a beacon or just an example of something that can be attained or achieved because of the work that you do or the way that you are being in the world. What would you like to see as the marker of success for you or for your community? I know I didn't ask anybody this before, so and then just one more question after that.
Okay, so for me personally, I just want women to tap into what they're meant to be in this world, and do things that you enjoy, not only just emotionally, physically, but also things that make you full, makes you happy, that what you're doing has a full purpose in everything that you're doing. And so if that means the award ceremony, tap into your own vision, right? What does that even if it starts just thinking about it, oh, what's my vision? What am I gonna do? How am I gonna, not just, maybe if it's not about your community, maybe it's about children, maybe it's about something else that you really, really care about, right? Like Ntsiki really cares for children and education. Dr. Florence really cares for women, innovation, and empowering. Everybody has their own thing as far as like what they really, really care about, and tap into that. It's funny because somebody not too long ago, which is funny because this whole interview I keep getting like deja vus. I feel like I'm dreaming. Somebody was asking me, it's like, what's your true passion? And I just basically said what I just said earlier, was I want women and people, not just women, but people in general, to tap into their passion. I feel like we have a lot of mental health and a lot of depression. And with this whole now, being locked down and so forth, it just really took it to a whole different level. But being able to wake up for something that you really, really look forward to, you start living. You're not just existing no longer. You're just living the life that you're meant to do. And I know it won't be an easy path, and I know that it can be difficult, but with the resources and with the assistance and the network and with the dedication and the commitment, anything is possible.
Yes, vision. It takes vision. When you have a vision, then that is your North Star, right? It helps you wake up in the morning to do whatever it is you need to do that day. I know that my mother and her, went through the World War II, the Depression, so that generation, they had to have a vision for themselves of what life could be beyond this. And we will all get beyond whatever the challenges are. So, how about you, Dr. Florence? What would you see as a success?
So I would measure success on a daily basis. Why? Because we start, despite the challenges, you can see that some women and girls are really curious to know how they can join the platform and asking question how what they can do to be the best version of themselves. And for me, that is even more than success, is a victory, because when you see people starting to ask themselves how they can go from A to B, know that already you have achieved your daily goals. So I think that changing the state of the mindset and bringing people, let's say women and girls, to join your vision and your purpose, there is nothing more than that as a success.
Yes, yes. Bringing that level of routine and normalcy, and to raise the level of what that is expected out of life. This is beautiful. It's a beautiful, beautiful. And Ntsiki?
Thank you, Baylan. For me, I do go along with that, notion of turning our passion into purpose. Because we are passionate people as women, and our passion, it shows the way to your purpose and where you were designed to be. You were created to be a particular person. We all have different fingerprints. Nobody has your fingerprints on earth, and no one has your values on earth. We are all unique in values and fingerprints. So my desire is that we don't miss that by women copying from other women. What if I see, oh, Dr. Florence is doing this in Burundi, let me do that in South Africa? No, let me be on my lane and do what I was designed to do, because that is a door that is opening and a bridge for others to reach their destinations too. That's what I believe. So I go with that notion with Cristal, that let the passion every day be turned to purpose. Then we can then do what Dr. Florence is also speaking about. We open doors for others. They are waiting to see what is the offering of World Women Conference and Awards. And I would love for us to train more women in their respective skills and gifts and talents and education. We focus here in South Africa on STEM, that's your science, technology, education, and math. And for me, I have seen in my family, we are not scientists in my family. We are artists. And we are people who use their hands, who are gifted. What you see in my head, this headband, I don't use a headband that is done by somebody else. It's my own hands that made this band. I make my own African beads. So I don't want to deprive people of what they have within them, their skills. I would like to see more of African women coming out, showing their power of what they can offer and be themselves, not wake up in the morning, rush for an office, yet you know you are not designed to be in the 8 to 5. You are designed to be in your own business and to showcase your gift that is beautiful to the world. So I look forward to the platform that is going to allow people to be. We help them with the resources to start the greatness within them. That will be our super success. Thank you, Baylan.
So beautiful. Oh, I always say you should add the A into STEM to make it STEAM. So you have the art in there, which really is that creative spark for innovation, which STEM needs, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
True.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you. Yes.
And Cristal.
Oh, I was the first one.
I'm going to ask you the final question. The final question that I always ask on the Leader's Edge. If you had the ear of the world's leaders, not just the ones at the top of the government or the top of policy, but or even of organizations, all the world's leaders, all those people around the world who identify as someone who is here to make an impact on more than just their little world, right? If you could tell them anything, what would you say?
If I can tell those leaders from all over around the world doing great for the world, I think I would just say, keep doing what you're doing and don't ever forget where you come from, what your passion is, and why you're doing what you're doing.
Boy, those are wise words coming from an awfully young person.
Yeah, I've been told I have an older soul.
Also, yes, I think so. Thank you.
Thank you.
Dr. Florence, what would you tell the world's leaders?
Okay, what I would say to those who are doing great things, I think that it's a word of encouragement, just to tell them to keep shining and leave a legacy of someone who gives his best to empower, to impact, to bring happiness and transform the lives of other people, especially those underprivileged people around the world. Yeah, I think to remain themselves, to be authentic. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And that can help future leaders coming up after them to continue to do that also. When people are more authentic and transparent, communication is so much easier. Yes. And we can dream together. We can dream. Ntsiki, what would you tell the world's leaders?
All right, Baylan. What kind of leaders are we talking about here? The ones who are doing good or the ones who are not leading people the right way? Or I speak to both. Because we have to be honest.
You bring up a very good point. There are good leaders and there are not so good leaders. They're very, very true. I look at what's happening in several countries that I'm connected with around the world, and some of them, the leaders are not stellar. They're not.
Exactly.
Here in the U.S., we just had our own problems, you know. But what would you tell all leaders? The message that all leaders need to know. What do they need to know?
leaders need to know that they have been chosen by the people to be leaders. So they are not there in those positions for themselves. They are there for the people. They are the ones who should make the people live like human beings. In my country, we use the term Ubuntu, humanitarian terms. To be humane is key. They should lead people with integrity. Integrity meaning they lead them the right way. And whatever they have is for the people. It is not for themselves and for their own families or friends. So leaders lead with integrity and mean it. Wherever you are leading the people for their greatness. If you don't have the spirit of integrity, then don't take up the position of leadership, because you are a servant when you are a leader. You lead the people, not objects. Thank you, Baylan.
Yes. Was it Gandhi who said something like,
Oh, you accidentally mute yourself. Oh, you're still muted, Baylan. Baylan, I think you're still muted.
sorry?
There.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Thank you. I think the World Women Conference and Awards is an incredible organization that the women in the communities that have chapters and have people who are trying to create chapters, I think that will raise the people, that will really raise the people, the current generations and future generations, because you're changing the trajectory of what is possible in your community. You're changing what's possible with all of those communities around the world that you're touching. And I want to thank you for doing that. I want to thank you for bringing forward the Vision Awards that are recognizing women who are influential, inspiring, making an impact around the world. We can't have enough of those. There are never too many of those. So it's really important. It's really important that we continue to raise our women, that we continue to help them rise in society and in work and in pursuing their dreams, Are there any last thoughts that any of you would like to share before we close? Oh, and I think I'm going to ask Cristal to share, where can people get tickets? And tell us about the awards.
Yeah, so absolutely. So it's going to be on Saturday, March 20th, 11 a.m. Eastern Time. You can find us at WWCA event group, and you will see the tickets in our main business for WWCA as well. That's posted today. And we're just happy to have you and see you there. It's going to be an amazing time with a lot of women from all over the world. So we're super excited. Just put a nice and pretty dress, put some jewelry on, get all pretty for an amazing event. It's going to be virtual, but just being able to celebrate one another is and I hope to see you all there.
Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you. Any other thoughts that you'd like to share? Anyone?
Hello, Baylan. Thank you for this last opportunity to just share my heart and say thank you to everyone. World Women Conference and Awards, obviously from Ragne. We thank you so much, and all the leaders who come together every week without fail. This is the success we have come to, to be today. So I'd like to say, really, Rising with the Eagles is such a wonderful journey in life. let us continue to raise the bar as women. Thank you.
Yes, yes. Would you like to say anything, Dr. Florence?
Yeah, okay, let
Last
me
thought?
for this opportunity to be here, express our thoughts on our activities. So I would encourage all women to stand up and explore their potential and advance them to ignore the doctors they meet, and by pushing themselves, they can become more confident, and confidence will lead to new opportunities. So I would also invite everyone out there to join this platform for passionate women dedicated to women empowerment around the world. Thank you so much. You are muted. You are muted. We cannot hear you.
Yes, we can hear you now.
Dr. Florence?
Yeah.
Oh, there. Okay. Are you there?
Yes, yes.
Okay. I'm sorry, I didn't hear the last sentence that you said.
Okay, I said that I would like to invite women out there to join this platform of passionate women dedicated to women empowerment around the world. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you. Um, I'm really glad. I mean, I have heard so much, for the last 10 years, I've maybe a little longer, I've been hearing wonderful things about how Africa is really growing and booming, and it's the next place to really watch how everything is going to happen in Africa. And so I am so pleased that we've been able to make a bridge between here in the United States and over to Africa, and then also over to Europe, and soon I hope over to Asia. So yes, I think the world is on the right track to do better for future generations because our women are leading the way. And I thank you all for doing what you're doing, for the work that you're doing, and for being the servant leaders that you are. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Much for your support and encouragement.
Thank you. Yes, of course.
Thank you
So,
so much for having us.
oh, it's been a pleasure. It's been a pleasure. And we'll do it again. We'll do it again because I think the world needs to hear what's happening in the rest of the world. We get so myopic, right? There's so much we see just right in front of us, and we get so busy. Especially women, we get so busy, the plates are full. But to have a little window into what's happening in the rest of the world can help to open our minds to other possibilities and to other collaborations. So it's a beautiful, beautiful connection. Thank you.
Thank you.
So this has been Global Dreammakers with the World Women Conference and Awards, who is holding their Vision Awards on March 20th from 11 o'clock in the morning to 1 o'clock in the afternoon Eastern Time on March 20th. Oh, to 2 o'clock. Okay. Okay, till 2 o'clock. Wonderful. Because there are so many categories and so many women who are going to be celebrated. We take as much time as you need to because we need more celebration. We work hard. We need celebration. It's important that we have that completion, right? We don't do this, oh, I have to plan to do something. Okay, I'm going to go do it. I go do it. And then, oh, I have to think of the next thing I have to do. And we don't celebrate. Part of being able to have full cycle is to celebrate, to come to that completion so that we can empty and come and be inspired by what is next, what is new. Yes. So thank you so much, ladies. I am so honored that you have all taken the time to join me, and I will post this up and I will send you the link, and I'm looking forward to Saturday.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Baylan. Yes, we've made it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you to the host. Thank you so much.